find a solution.
Come on, give it up for MP Arnold Ram. Well done. Time for PNM to go. Again, time for PNM to nice. Woo, give me a great honor and privilege. Look, welcome to our beloved political leader, the best prime minister that this country has ever had. Welcome the Honorable Kamala Bissessa. I'd like to take this honor on behalf of Dr. Rishi Seecheran. We welcome you to the constituency of Caroni East. Y'all, for Caroni East. I also would like to recognize, the gentleman down to the back with the straw hat. SP Johnny Abraham, give it up for him. And the rest of members from Parliament. It's an honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Rishi Seecheran. Is very dedicated person. He's a dedicated member of Parliament, and he's very caring. As a new councillor and not a new member of UNC, I could tell you this, he is very caring person. I could call him anytime and he will answer. Dr. Rishi Seecheran has served Caroni East diligently over many years as the constituency treasurer, secretary, and chairman, rising up to represent the people of Caroni East at the parliamentary level. Dr. Seecheran has undertaken many projects within his constituency to assist the vulnerable, homeless, and ensure proper educational opportunities for children of Caroni East. Dr. Seecheran has played an instrumental role in our party's medical clinics, helping hundreds of patients throughout Trinidad and Tobago. While he has supported the work of our party's National Youth Arm since 2013, he is qualified general dental surgeon with postgraduate certificates in dental implantology. He received his Doctor of Dental Surgery in 2005, his Bachelor of Law degrees in 2020, and is currently aiming to complete his legal practice certificate in June of 2024. Dr. Seecheran is the owner and principal dental surgeon of Dental Plus Limited. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Seecheran has protected us from the lies, the incompetency of Dr. Rowley government, exposing them, forcing them into action. Dr. Seecheran is married to a dentist and has 2 sons. He continues to fight with the UNC on behalf of the people. Let's welcome to the stage the coolest man, Dr. Rishi Seecheran, caring, loving, dedicated. Caroni East, we love you.
Got to find a solution to this pollution.
Thank you very much, Brenda
Got to find a
and Ryan, for your opening remarks. My political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamala Bissessa, members of Parliament, senators, local government representatives, and members of NATEX. We have the Caroni East constituency. I'd like to thank them for the preparations here today. Activists, foot soldiers, and those viewing home and abroad, welcome to the UNC fortress of Caroni East. My friends, we are here at the Ragunanan Road Government School, and it is packed to capacity both inside and outside. I would like to thank my political leader for having the vision to hold these cottage meetings at these smaller venues within the UNC constituencies so that we can reach you in your communities. As a cosmopolitan constituency, we have just celebrated spiritual Shouter Baptist Day, Good Friday, Easter Monday, and Pagwa. Eid al-Fitr is in a couple days, and I would like to wish my Muslim brothers and sisters a safe and holy Ramadan period. Tonight, my friends, we will continue our discourse on our nation's healthcare system. But before I do that, I would like to first discuss crime. The front page of the Daily Express this morning had the headline, "Fear Grips the City." Now, the city that they spoke about was Port of Spain, and gang violence and murders, and the fact that the business groups are very concerned about this crime. But crime has also gripped Caroni East. Homicide number 157 occurred last night at 9:30 p.m., just about 5 kilometers from this location. Akwi Prasad, an elderly gentleman, was murdered at his home at Welcome Road North in Kunupia. During the home invasion at 9:30 p.m., he was shot in the head during this robbery, during which 3 assailants stole a certain quantity of cash from his house, as well as the family's car. And my condolences to the family at this time. Now, what is very disturbing about this incident, my friends, is that he was shot and killed in front of his 4-year-old grandson. That is how evil and devious these persons are. It took the police 45 minutes to reach the crime scene, by which time these perpetrators were well on their way outside of the constituency and are on the run. My friends, the family of Akwi Prasad, and by extension those in Welcome Road, are living in fear. They are living in fear. And how many more constituents and how many more citizens of Trinidad and Tobago must die under this Keith Rowley administration? We are all sitting ducks in our homes. The police service is under-resourced. There are not sufficient vehicles at the police stations for them to react to an emergency situation. They do not have sufficient guns. They do not have body armor in which to engage these criminal entities. Just talk, talk, talk from Keith Rowley and Fitzgerald Hines. As MP Arnold Ram said, the Minister of National Security is on record of saying that crime is not his issue. The Commissioner of Police doesn't know if she come in or go in. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are under siege. And where are the community comfort patrols that was initiated under Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa? With these patrols, the criminal element did not know when a patrol may pass a certain area, and thus it broke up their activities. Currently, without the patrols, these criminals know they have a certain amount of time in which to commit their crime and to escape free. So, my friends, what is happening to our country? My political leader has already outlined many plans with regards to the security and safety of you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. One of the major initiatives that Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa wishes to initiate is that of Stand Your Ground legislation that will allow you to protect your family and yourselves in your home and not allow law enforcement and the judicial service to prosecute you after you have defended your home. Armed men may think twice coming into a house knowing that there's an armed individual within that house. The granting of FULs, firearm users license, to those that may qualify will assist in this initiative. And the return of community comfort patrols will allow security personnel to guard your homes while you are there and while you are not. And this, of course, will throw off the criminals. A young boy, a very young boy, and apparently by all reports he's very traumatized, has lost his grandfather tonight. The community of Welcome Road North mourns the loss of one of their own, and we can no longer allow this to happen in Caroni East. This government has shown it has a track record of over 9 years of being unable to fight the criminal elements in Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Keith Rowley is on vacation while all of this is going on. A Kamla Prasad Bisesa-led government will return safety and security to our communities in Trinidad and Tobago. And my friends, moving on to the health sector, and I would like to engage in an issue that plagues Trinidad and Tobago despite the billions that is being spent on the health sector in Trinidad and Tobago, and that is of health inequity. Now, when a person gets a heart attack, and it's a person of means, be it in North Trinidad or South Trinidad, there are options. They can go to a private health institution, such as West Shore or St. Clair Medical, or perhaps Southern Medical Center in which they can do an angiogram, which is a scan of your heart, and angioplasties. And these opens up blockages in your hearts and can often save these persons' lives. The days of a medicated response to a heart attack are long gone. Now, these procedures not only saves the person's lives, but allows them to continue working, in a very strong and a healthy way for the rest of their living days. This is an insignificant investment that we may make in Trinidad and Tobago. The number one cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago is heart disease. And just last week, we had very distressing news here in the United National Congress, whereby one of our colleagues was rushed to one of the newly built public hospitals when he experienced some level of discomfort in his chest. And this young man was placed in the emergency area of this brand new $1.6 billion hospital, where he subsequently passed, and may his soul rest in peace. And my friends, with $1.6 billion for a new hospital, this hospital did not have the resources that certain private establishments within Trinidad and Tobago have to save this young man's life. He lost his life. So my friends, it did not have what we would call a cath lab and the associated technical personnel that may run a cath lab. But we are spending $30 million a year for the next 15 years to pay for the Ministry of Health administrative building in Port of Spain. We are spending $450 million for that facility. The Eastern Regional Health Authority, the Southwest Regional Health Authority, and the Northwest Regional Health Authority do not have a cath lab. So if you get a heart attack in any of these areas and the ambulance takes you to these hospitals, they're just going to put you to the side and give you some tablets. The American Heart Association has certain protocols. And these protocols are within 10 minutes of the person arriving at the hospital, an EKG would be done. Within 30 minutes of that time, a diagnosis of a heart attack would be made. And within 60 minutes of arrival, the cath lab team would go into their job. And within 90 minutes of arrival, that person's arteries would be opened up and their life would be saved, my friends. And the sum of these standards is called the 90-minute door-to-balloon rule. But 99% of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago cannot afford this at the private level. Only the richest of Trinidad and Tobago and certain politicians can do that, my friends. And this level of care does not exist currently in the public healthcare sector. So my friends, it will take a Kamla Persad-Bissessar government to place a 24-hour, fully functional cath lab in each of the regional health authorities. When our ambulance picks you up, you or your loved one, and they carry you to one of these billion-dollar hospitals, you can feel rest assured that there will be facilities and the personnel there to save your life. Billions are being spent, but the number one cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago was not addressed, and that is heart disease. The UNC under Kamla Persad-Bissessar will introduce nationally the 90-minute rule to our healthcare infrastructure, and the life that it may save may be yours. My friends, I have spoken at length. I don't have much time left. I have spoken at length about the chronic deficiencies in our healthcare service. I have spoken about the Seamangle report. I have spoken about the Special Auditor General's report. I have even spoken about the whistleblower that said there were 60 patients to one doctor during COVID-19. And nothing is currently being done by the government to address these concerns. And when we ask questions why, as MP Khadija Amin said, they like to come with, you're not being patriotic. Why are you not patriotic? That is simply a case to muzzle you, to muzzle the opposition, but we will not stand for it. We will speak against waste and mismanagement. Where is the money going? All of these brand new hospitals for billions of dollars, it costs $70 million to build a cath lab. And in a $1.6 billion facility, you cannot put a cath lab? That is unacceptable. Reports are we are under-resourced in every single hospital. The reports indicate that there are 40% of personnel that are not being hired in these hospitals. So how can the personnel there react when there are issues. They are understaffed, they are under-resourced, they do not have diagnostic equipment, they do not have basic drugs and supplies. And as I said before, these hospitals are white elephants. They are useless, they are troublesome. If they cannot save your life for a heart attack, what is the point? My friends, according to the Special Auditor General's report, and this is a WHO study, our health sector will become more resilient going forward when new and existing facilities are adequately staffed and resourced. And this was placed in Parliament, and the government is doing nothing about it. Doctors are suffering silently, and they are paying the brunt of all of these issues. I wanted to speak tonight about the head of the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, and the issues that she raised with regards to the deficiency of cancer drugs and equipment and treatment, and the issues that cancer patients face in Trinidad and Tobago, but time is of the essence here. And you may ask, why don't doctors like Dr. LeBlanc speak out? And that, my friends, is because of political victimization. They fear for their jobs, they fear for their careers. They have studied since they were small kids to be doctors, to then go and lose their job as a consultant in a regional health authority. Gross political interference is penetrating our healthcare system, and doctors have felt as if they have lost control of our country with regards to healthcare. Doctors are no longer able to guide our country through these very dark times. The eclipse that North America experienced over today in Trinidad and Tobago, we have had an eclipse for the last 9 years, and that eclipse is Dr. Keith Rowley. My friends, my leader has built the Cuba Hospital, the San Fernando Teaching Hospital, and the Academy of Nursing and Allied Health. During her tenure, she has refurbished every single health center in Trinidad and Tobago, building human capital with people-centered development. I wish to remind you all that the quality of our lives was much better under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our children, our families, our grandchildren, to take a stand against this Keith Rowley administration. And I would like to tell my leader, Caroni East stands firmly with you, political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Keep flying the flag of the United National Congress. Keep rallying around our leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Long live our great party. I thank you.